Wherever you are in the world, welcome. This is W.O.R.K.S, and this is your forever young host, Kim, welcoming you to my show, where I am creating my next book. Now, this evening's talk is going to be about products, and I'm not going to say everything I need to say about products this evening. I'm just going to talk about what products you should use regularly and how to use them. So, I hope you're enjoying the series so far. If you haven't been listening in before, then you can pick up the other shows on the podcasts. And if you have, then welcome back. I'm glad you're still with me. So, in terms of products, there are products we use every day or should be using every day, and there are products that we probably will use 2 or 3 times a week, maybe only once a week. And what we use can very much depend on our age and how much time we have available, the kinds of products we enjoy having on our skin type, and also our budget. And it's very important to choose a skincare regime that you are going to be able to stick with. There's no point in choosing to go along to say have a facial done and getting carried away listening to all of the products that the therapist is telling you about, and going away with a huge goodie bag full of things that will then sit on your bathroom shelf you've forgotten how to use, and you don't have time to use them anyway, and they never get used, and you carry on using whatever it was that you already had. So I'm a big advocate for looking into the kind of routine you currently have and the kind of products you enjoy using, and changing 1 or 2 things out. It's a good idea not to have too many different kinds of products in your regime so that things match, because if we have too many, then we can have ingredients that clash. So I wouldn't recommend going and buying a toner from one set and a moisturizer from another and a cleanser from another, and then a whole bunch of other things all from different ranges that don't go together. But if you're going along and you're seeing a therapist and you would like to change to the, say, cleanser, toner, moisturizer, then I'd start with those and then maybe add 1 product each time you go along, something like that, until you've got all of the ones that you're going to use. Now, it may be that you only ever use the cleanser, toner and moisturizer, although I would definitely recommend investing in at least an exfoliator and probably a mask as well on top of that, because the exfoliator helps to speed up skin cell turnover, which is really important in aging. And masks inject a huge amount of usually moisture if you're going for anti-aging. You can get lots and lots of different kinds of masks, but generally when we're talking about anti-aging masks, it will be things that are nourishing and soothing, and will introduce vitamins, minerals and such like into your skin. So how do you start your skincare routine? Well, firstly, you are going to need to cleanse your skin to make it clean. And if you are concerned about aging, if you live in an area that's heavily polluted, if you suffer from acne or pigmentation or all kinds of different issues, then I would highly recommend that you do double cleansing. What would happen to you if you go and have a facial, you will generally have a double cleanse. And a pre-cleanse, which you can use before a normal cleanser, is specially designed to help remove pollution from your skin, which is why it really helps people who live in polluted environments, and also people that have acne, to remove all of the kind of grease and dead skin cells and sebum from their skin, and leave it ready for the ordinary cleanse. Generally speaking, you'll put maybe a 10p piece amount in the palm of your hand, although different products obviously will use in different amounts. So do try to pay attention if you're buying products from a therapist, which is what I'd recommend, or from somebody on a counter at one of the big chains, big department stores, where you can get really good advice. Then they'll tell you how much to use, and you'll probably have a chance to actually get the products in your hands. And that's the very best way of buying them. I wouldn't recommend buying new products online. If you're just replacing ones that you are already using and you know exactly what to do with them, then it's fine to buy them online. But actually, if you do go regularly and see a therapist, it may be that the product you've been using for a while has done its job, and actually you need to move on to something else. So I actually am an advocate for using your therapist to get really good advice. So anyway, back to the cleanser. So use 10p piece size amount of most cleansers or pre-cleanses. Some you'll need to add some water to get a bit of a foam, but generally speaking, you'll massage them into your skin using your fingers in a nice circular movement. And do not forget to go right down your neck onto your décolleté, which is the area at the top of your chest. All of the area that's exposed if you're wearing a low-cut t-shirt or dress or something, or if you're wearing something with just straps. So that whole area is all to be cleansed, and take it off with flannel or cotton wool, whatever you prefer, or if you like to just do it in the shower, then just shower it off, that's fine. Secondly, then this is where you use your cleanser. So again, about the same amount, maybe add water if that's what it requires. And if you wish to, you can also add your exfoliator to this part. And some exfoliators are especially designed for mixing in water, so they're perfect to use at this point. If you are using a chemical exfoliator, you won't probably be able to add it at this point, because they normally need to be at the right strength, so adding them to a water-based product might not be the best thing. So obviously take into account the kind of exfoliator you've got, but if you're in a hurry and you've got an exfoliator that's got particles in, or one that you mix in water, it's fine to add it into your cleanser. And again, rub it in with your fingertips and rinse off. If you wish to do a bit more exfoliation on your skin, it is possible to get these small skin brushes. I don't recommend people invest in powered ones or anything like this, particularly because the action of the brush on your skin with your hands is probably more than enough to add a bit of extra exfoliation. So yeah, feel free to give them a bit of a scrub with the brush. I don't recommend that to people that have got skin prone to acne, because that increases the amount of kind of movement on the skin, and the more we kind of rub at our skin and the more activity that goes on your skin, the higher the amount of sebum produced by your glands. So actually, if you're already prone to acne, although it's really important to get the skin cells off of the surface, because you'll produce more skin cells if you're prone to acne than if you have a normal skin type. I would highly recommend that you use a chemical style exfoliant, something with AHAs in, something like that, rather than something that uses a physical action, because not only can it get into areas where you might have pustules with active acne, but also it can increase, like I say, that production of sebum, which is counterproductive. So after you've done that part, you've rinsed it off or washed it off the flannel, something like that, pat your skin dry. I wouldn't recommend giving it a brisk rub at all. You'll just increase the blood coming to the surface of your skin, and at this point it's probably already had as much action on the skin as it needs. So this is a good place to use your toner, or it is the place to use your toner. Now, when I was young, toners were often alcohol based. Thankfully, not many of them are these days. I don't even know of one that is. But this is a liquid of the same texture as water, and they all came in a bottle, and we would use cotton wool pads to wipe it over. But some years ago, they started using them in a spritz form, which is really great because it's much quicker to use. You don't have to have the cotton pads to use it, and also they're really handy for dropping in your handbag. And if you're going on a journey, or if you're at work, something like that, they're really cooling, and they're good for giving you an extra bit of moisture in your skin and a bit of pep. So I really like spritz toners. So most good brands these days have a spritz toner, and if you enjoy using that, then I'd get one of those. And because you just give it a couple of pumps over your skin, and it leaves a fine film, rather than using the cotton pads and rubbing your skin around more. But either's fine. Some brands don't even have a toner at all, and if they don't have a toner, it's fine not to use one. If you like a bit of something cool splashed from your skin, just use some cool water, and this will close down your pores nicely. Now, if you were going on to use a mask, this is the time to use it. And I would suggest you use a mask 2 or 3 times a week. It will tell you on the mask how often to use it. And masks are brilliant for, like I say, removing impurities from your skin if you get a cleansing one, or for helping to put nourishment into your skin. And if you are talking about anti-aging, then it's the nourishment and the hydration in your skin that's really important from your mask. You can get ones that are self-warming, ones that are peeling, which are more of the extracting kind. You can get ones that are warming and ones that are hydrating and nourishing, with things like chamomile or oatmeal, are the kinds you're looking for if you're looking at anti-aging. Ones that have things like clay or the peeling kind, these are the ones for using if you want to remove things from your skin. So if you're looking at decongesting your skin, then they're the kinds you're looking for. Generally speaking, a mask you can put over your skin with your fingers, although when you go to a therapist, they usually use a brush, but fingers are usually fine. And they will just spread over your skin, avoiding the whole eye area. So you just go around the socket of your eye, and if they're likely to be slightly stingy, if they've got anything kind of menthol or things like that, then you can avoid the nostril area. it's probably best to anyway. You don't want to be breathing them in. Come close to your lips, but you don't need to put a thick layer on unless it particularly tells you to. The only part of the mask that is active is that in contact with your skin. So a thin layer, evenly spread all over, not forgetting to come down your neck and again around the top of your chest area, because that needs nourishing too. And generally speaking, you will leave them on for about 10 minutes. So as you can see, this is not something you do every day. But also, if you're running short for time, there are some different kinds of masks, some that you can leave on overnight. So maybe investigate something like that if you're the kind of person that's very, very short for time. If you're short for time, but want to have a nice bedtime routine, actually putting your mask on and having a bath in the evening is quite a pleasant thing to do. Some candles and a bit of bubble chumming the ones in the bath, of course, are always nice. Underneath your mask, you can use any of the oils that are available. These are very, very nourishing, and then normally you would use them each evening, a few drops on your skin each evening, either oils or serums or both. But the oils in particular will be pushed further into your skin if you're using the kind of mask that's good for hydrating and nourishing. So if you are using that kind of an oil, then it's a perfect time to put it on underneath your mask. When you take your mask off, don't use boiling hot water to do it. Nice, gently warm water, lukewarm water, not freezing cold, so it shocks your skin, but not anything that will bring more redness to the surface of your skin. Now, in terms of different kinds of serums and things, serums came onto the market probably about 10 years ago, and there were lots of replenishing oils that started to come onto the market then as well. The serums took over quite quickly and are wonderful, normally full of vitamins, minerals. I am a big fan of serums, and if you were only going to add one product to your routine and you're already cleansed and moisturised, it would be a serum that I would recommend, and less particular issue. And that's because of all of these benefits that they have. But actually, replenishing oils have been around a similar amount of time and haven't really taken the centre stage until quite recently. And now there are lots of them coming on the market, and lots of them saying they've got phyto plant oils in, which means young plant oils are in them, with kind of plant stem cells, things like that, all kinds of very nourishing, very revitalizing kind of ingredients that will replenish your skin, put lots of nourishment and hydration into your skin, really plump it and make it look very fresh and dewy. So phyto oils or replenishing oils are a wonderful thing to use on your skin, and these you just put a few drops again onto your fingers and just spread them in a nice even manner over your skin, and you can just do some gentle pressures around your eyes and across your forehead as you pat them in outwards towards your brows, which will help to just aid the flow of your blood away from your skin, taking away impurities and bringing fresh blood into the area with new nutrition in, which is good for your skin, obviously. Next product I'm going to talk about is eye cream, or gels, any kind of eye product. There are lots of different kinds on the market. All of them are fairly light kinds of products, and you normally put the tiniest amount, just enough to cover about the size of a lentil, basically. And normally pat that between your fingers and just pat it into the area around your brow and eye socket area. Some of them are designed to roll on with a small applicator, a small roll-on device, a bit like a tiny deodorant. But again, these products are designed to bring in nutrients to the area, also designed to help tighten that area and refresh it. So some of these have things like caffeine in, which are particularly good for refreshing the area and tautening it, making it look a bit firmer and fresher. Sometimes they'll have things in that will help sort of brighten your eyes themselves as well. Presumably the oils in them, because you're not actually putting them into the eye. So presumably the smell of the oils help to brighten your eyes, and maybe just the overall appearance of tightening also helps to give that younger, fresher look to your face. In terms of eye creams and things, I think the average age that most people would recommend you start using an eye cream would be 25 onwards, and certainly by our 30s we should be using an eye cream. Also, some product ranges do neck cream. Neck creams are good because our neck has particularly delicate skin, not much tougher than that of our eyes. It can also begin to sag and start to look lined a lot more quickly than the skin on our face or on our chest area. So some of these ranges have neck creams which are a bit lighter than the standard moisturiser, but most moisturisers are light enough to do our skin as well. So moisturisers, what are we looking for? Well, generally speaking, again, you're looking for something that's very nourishing and very moisturising. I've already mentioned serums. If you've used an oil, you can use a serum as well. But these go underneath our moisturiser, and the reason they go underneath our moisturiser is because they're finer, sort of thinner products and will absorb more readily and deeper into our skin. Our moisturiser will then come on the top, and it's designed to offer nourishment to our skin and then protect it, offering an extra layer of protection on the top of the skin. Some moisturisers these days have quite high quantities of SPF in, which is good, and definitely if your moisturiser doesn't have an SPF in it, then you should be putting on an SPF especially designed for the job. Some product ranges still recommend that you should be doing this and that you wouldn't get enough SPF in the amount of moisturiser you use to do the job. But other ranges say that they are adequate to cover the area. And to be honest with you, without a scientist actually dissecting these things and saying for certain which is true, it's hard to say. But the minimum of SPF you should be using is 30, and if you're going into stronger sunlight, then 50. And people don't think that they're going to need an SPF day to day when the weather gets cooler. After the summer holidays are over, they think it's okay not to use one anymore. But the truth is that although in the summer the levels of UVB rise, and so we're more likely to have that burning of our skin, UVA stays at a constant level all year round. So although the UVB will be the one that causes the burning and we feel that that's doing damage, actually UVA is causing damage all of the time at the same level. So it's really important to have those SPFs in our or on our skin all year round. In terms of the next product to put on after your moisturiser, there are a variety of things. There are BB creams, CC creams. BB creams are beauty balms. They tend to be slightly heavier than moisturiser, and they quite often have a tint in them. So they're a bit of a cross between a tinted moisturiser and a foundation lotion, and they're designed to cover imperfections on your skin and to go underneath the powders and things. Most people wouldn't wear them on their own without a foundation as well, but you could do. CC creams are slightly heavier and are designed to do the same jobs, but with a bit more coverage in them than the BB creams. So a lot of people that use a CC cream wouldn't bother to use a foundation on top of that. The other option to put on your skin would be a primer. Primers have been around for a while now, and they are designed to help your makeup go in very, very smoothly. Some primers again have SPFs in, some have a tint in, and some of them are designed to do particular jobs. So some of them are designed to actually help your skin as well. Some of them are meant to be protective as well. So they are really useful to put onto your skin. Even if you're not going to wear any makeup, primers will leave a nice surface on your skin. And if you're using one with a tint in it, and some people would be happy to wear just that and not bother putting any makeup on at all. So that's it for the different kinds of products you could use. As you can tell, obviously there are a whole variety of different things, and you don't need to use them all every day. But in terms of anti-aging, I'd suggest that you layer your products because they have much more beneficial effect if you use various different products for different jobs on top of each other. And the main benefit or the main beneficial thing you can do for your skin on a daily basis for aging, which is slightly different to what I'd recommend for some people with different kinds of skin types, but for aging skins, we should really be exfoliating on a daily basis. Now, I wouldn't recommend using a very harsh exfoliator on your skin day to day, but you can get ones that are designed for using every day. And if you get one of those, then use it once a day in the evening. So in the morning, say you might, or you can use it in the morning. So you might choose to cleanse, tone, exfoliate, and moisturize in the morning. Obviously, tone if you've got a toner, and pre-cleanse as well as cleansing if you routine. Otherwise, do cleanse, tone, moisturize, and in the evening, cleanse, tone, moisturize, and exfoliate. And that would be your everyday routine if you are worried about aging skin. Ladies or gentlemen who are worried about aging skin, then you can also choose products that have alpha hydroxy acids in and other similar ingredients such as glycolic acid or lactic acid. things that are good at helping to break down the bonds of the cells on the top of the skin. So they help with the desquamation, the exfoliation of those cells without actually us rubbing the skin any further. So you may think, oh, well, I'm using the exfoliator daily and I'm using this product and that product, but actually you could be ramping it up by having products that have some of these ingredients in, as well as that exfoliator. And when I talked about chemical exfoliators being good for people with acne types of skin, then these are what I'm talking about. I'm talking about products that have these kind of AHAs, lactic and glycolic acids, or salicylic acid. And if you're concerned with acne and you're looking for a product to use as an exfoliator, then I'd highly recommend salicylic acid. The reason salicylic acid is so very good for people with acne is because it's lipophilic. That means it loves oil. Nice. So what happens with the salicylic acid is that it goes down into the actual follicle of the hair, and it has a very cleansing effect, but also helps to get rid of those dead skin cells from the surface of the skin. So exfoliation with things like salicylic acid on top of your kind of physical exfoliation is really, really useful, particularly for those with aging skin. And you want to be looking at doing some kind of exfoliation every day, and maybe something a bit more vigorous, maybe once, twice, maybe even 3 times a week, depending if you've got pigmentation or not. If you happen to be one of the unfortunate souls that have quite a lot of redness in their skin, that are maybe rather sensitive, then I would recommend against using the very, very harsh kind of scrub type exfoliators, and stick to more gentle chemical ones. And also, when it comes to SPFs, for people with those kinds of skin concerns, I would also recommend that they choose physical SPFs rather than chemical SPFs, because they tend to be a bit gentler and less likely to cause that redness. So, well, what's the word I'm looking for? In conclusion, then, every day, cleanse, tone and moisturise once a day, add an exfoliator in on your other cleanse, tone and moisturise, and 2 or 3 times a week add a mask. And you should be using eye creams if you're over 25, and I'd highly recommend using the oils or serums as well, as you get older and you're more concerned with those aging kind of signs of fine lines, pigmentation, redness, all of these things. Then add in the serums and things that are appropriate to your skin's concern, and layer. So put one on top of the other, on top of the other, on top of the other, whatever you've got time and money budget for. The more the merrier when you're coming to layers when it comes to aging. And really get your advice of your therapist. Go along, get your skin checked, and to get their hands on it, feel what it feels like, and to talk to them about what bothers you, because it's no good them suggesting products to you for what they think is the problem if what upsets you is something completely different. So I will talk some more about ingredients on my next show, and the ones to look out for that are good for different skin concerns. And in the meantime, thank you for listening. Wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and it's good night from me. Thank you.